So on this route that I've designed in this particular thing, I've said, okay, I'm going to have these 3 primary stops. Now, let's say the transit center is not a primary stop. Let's say it's a ride request stop or an on-demand stop. We would click these buttons and make it an on-demand stop and save it. And what you're going to see is it's going to be highlighted in blue because it's a different type of stop. It's an on-demand stop. And let's just have Highway 26 be part of the schedule, but it's not a time point. So now
And
you
by
can start.
on demand, you mean somebody would be at the stop.
On demand would be somebody on the bus would request to get off the stop, or somebody would call in advance, just as an example.
Thanks.
Okay, so for Clackamas Town Center, you can start designing the route. So let's just say you want to leave at 6 a.m. And in some particular circumstances, maybe you don't understand like run times between all these stops in your area. I don't think that's very common, but if you didn't, issues again, hold on. What you can do, it's not going to work, is know when you want to start and when you want to stop. And so like, let's say, just because I know the area, I know it's going to take about 45 minutes to get to. You can put your time points in here, which you're going to, the bold on the bottom is your departure. The italicized on the top is your arrival. So we're going to depart Clackamas Town Center at 6 a.m. and then return, as I have it designed, let's put it at 7. And you can pick your departure from the transit center, in the middle there if you want, and you hit save. And these are now time points, and you can use this button, calculate times, and it will estimate the amount of time it takes to get between the other stops, because these are not time points, so you don't have to actually put a time point in, but it's going to estimate for you what time the bus would arrive, which allows customers to see estimates. Okay, so that would be trip 1. And if I wanted to add another trip, I'd come over here and hit add a trip. And so maybe the next one is at 7:30. We have a half an hour in between, as an example. And I put that in arrival on accident, so I'd want to put it in departure. And then we'd come over here and put in a departure. And then I would put the arrival. And then we could add another trip. And let's say we do these back to back. So it's going to depart at 8:35. Okay, and so on and so forth. So now I've created 3 trips on this particular route. And I can hit calculate times again if I want, and it will come in here and it will calculate the approximate times. Okay, let's say I've decided that I want to do something else, whatever that might be. I don't want it to stop at Safeway headed eastbound. So I'm going to come back in here and we're going to go edit stops in order. And we're going to say, just kidding, we don't want to stop at Safeway headed eastbound. We only want to stop westbound. So you hit yes, close that out, refresh it, come back in and click on your schedule again. And now we only have Safeway and Reuben Lane going one way, not the other way, because we removed the stop from the route. Okay. So now what I have designed is I have a route, I have a segment, and I have 3 trips. And when you come in here, if you want, and you come in here and you click the globe, you can also come in here and hit edit stop properties as an example. And the edit stop properties box will bring up all sorts of stuff with the stops and announcements and things that you want. And so as an example, this is saying that it's going to announce the stop and announce the next stop. On a lot of our systems, we aren't announcing the next stop because, especially in Sandy, the stops are so close together that it becomes very garbled when you do that. So I might unclick the next. And maybe at Clackamas Town Center, on both ends, I want the route and destination, because that makes sense, right? this is the next exit. This is the internal speaker. This is the external speaker. This is the LED. Are you using it for GPS reportings? Is it a secondary stop or on-demand stop? And you can get really into the weeds here and add more announcements and all sorts of stuff. But this is your basic stop property list. Okay. All right, so now we have, in order to design, the next step is you have to have a job that runs the segments, basically. So you would design a new job. I give them all the same names because that makes sense. And you pick, and so you can just add job, right? So it comes down here. So all of these different ones that are already in here, basically what happens is when you look at this, they have added different trips to it and they've designed the start of their route. So in this, we'd go add trip, and it's probably not going to show right now, but I'm going to look and see. Yeah, it won't show. So nothing is live right now because I don't want it showing on GTFS. So what I need to do is come in here to segments, and for a moment in time, which is why I usually do this early in the morning or late at night, I want to come in here and I want to manage the version, and I want to take it out of draft status real quick, save the route version, close it up, back over here to jobs, edit this, add a trip, and there are if you go by segment, there are the 3 that I created, the 3 trips I created. We're going to save the job. Okay. We're going to
And
come
how do
over
you
here.
define a job? What is the definition of a job?
A job is how you put them to work, right? So a job is what's going to be assigned to drivers.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
okay. So now I'm going to come over here to routes real quick while everything is active. Make sure that the test route is selected, which it is, and we're good. So I'm going to go back over here to segments real quick and go back into here to manage the versions and come back and make this a draft again so that nobody can see it while I'm still like working out the details on it. Okay, and that is your basic creation of a segment, a route, a segment, and a job.